His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to the Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud on Somalia's Independence Day. In the cable, His Majesty expressed his best wishes for good health and happiness to the Somali President and for his people to achieve further security, safety and stability. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to Sheikha Hissa bint Ali Al Khalifa on her appointment as the second Vice Chair of the Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space during its 68th session in Austria, making her the first Arab Muslim woman to hold this position. His Majesty the King noted that this achievement reflects the outstanding competence and recognized expertise of Bahraini women in assuming various international roles. His Majesty the King emphasized that this achievement is also a culmination of Bahrain's efforts and accomplishments in the field of space and represents international recognition of the role of Arab women in decision-making within global technological arenas. His Majesty expressed pride in the achievements of Bahraini women at the national level, their contributions to development and decision-making, their efforts in political participation, and their attainment of the highest positions in both regional and international forums. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa sent a cable of congratulations to the Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud on Somalia's Independence Day. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Qudaibiya Palace. The cabinet meeting began with a review of measures and initiatives undertaken by the relevant authorities in implementation of the directives of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa aimed at ensuring the successful organization of Ashura. The cabinet affirmed that the long-standing values of openness, tolerance and unity that define Bahraini society have established the kingdom as a beacon of security, stability, peace and development. The cabinet reiterated that religious occasions should serve as a reflection of the kingdom's values as an important opportunity to strengthen national unity and community cohesion. In line with this, the cabinet commended the outcomes of the annual meeting held by the Minister of Interior with members of the General Authority of Husseini processions, along with the heads and officials of matams across various governorates. The cabinet praised the shared commitment to upholding these values and ensuring the success of Ashura through the highest levels of coordination and cooperation. In light of the directives of His Majesty the King, the cabinet instructed all relevant ministries and authorities to work closely with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to prepare for the 46th session of the Supreme Council of the GCC, scheduled to be held in Bahrain in December. The cabinet extended its best wishes for the success of the session, which is expected to further strengthen Gulf cooperation and accelerate the delivery of initiatives that benefit citizens across the GCC. The cabinet also welcomed the efforts of the Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other relevant authorities in implementing the directives of His Majesty and the order of His Royal Highness to facilitate the safe return of Bahraini citizens stranded abroad in countries affected by last week's regional escalation. The cabinet extended its gratitude to the diplomatic missions of the GCC countries and allied nations for their cooperation, which contributed to the successful repatriation of all Bahraini citizens stranded abroad. The cabinet approved amending the frequency of its regular meetings during July and August 2025 to a bi-weekly schedule. The cabinet then approved the following memorandums. A memorandum submitted by the Government Executive Committee regarding developments in the Government Priorities Framework 4.0. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance regarding the Kingdom's share in the Bahrain Agriculture Development Company, Ghiras, and its transfer to the Bahrain Mumtalakat Holding Company, Mumtalakat. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Finance and National Economy and the Minister of Industry and Commerce regarding the decision of the Permanent Committee for Combating Harmful Practices in International Trade of GCC countries to impose anti-dumping duties on a number of imports from GCC countries. A memorandum submitted by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs and Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Education and Training Quality Authority regarding the outcomes of the national examinations for the 9th and 12th grades for the year year 2025. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs on the government's response to 7 proposals and a law submitted by the Council of Representatives. The Cabinet then reviewed the memorandum submitted by the Minister of Works on a maintenance plan for roads and bridges during the summer of 2025. The Cabinet also reviewed the following ministerial reports: the outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the Global Summit, Health and Prosperity through Immunization. The outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the 16th edition of the WOW Asia Awards ceremony, during which Bahrain was awarded the title of leading destination for events and celebrations. The outcomes of the Kingdom's participation in the Saudi Industry Forum 2025. Reports on the external participations of various ministers, as well as visits by foreign ministers to Bahrain in July 2025. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the GCC Secretary General Jassim Al Bdawi at Qudaibiya Palace. His Royal Highness affirmed that Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, remains firmly committed to strengthening Gulf cooperation across all sectors, with the aim of achieving deeper integration, enhanced coordination and greater collective progress. His Royal Highness highlighted the significant achievements made by the GCC since its establishment, stressing the importance of building on this progress in line with the vision and aspirations of its leaders. His Royal Highness highlighted the close ties between Bahrain and its fellow GCC countries and commended the efforts of the Secretary General in furthering the GCC development and unity. His Royal Highness noted Bahrain's preparations to host the 46th session of the GCC Supreme Council in December, reaffirming Bahrain's commitment to ensuring a successful and productive summit. His Royal Highness expressed confidence that the session would serve as a key milestone in the GCC's ongoing journey, driving progress across various sectors. His Royal Highness commended the spirit of solidarity and cooperation demonstrated by the GCC member states, particularly in the face of ongoing regional and global challenges. His Royal Highness highlighted the pivotal role of GCC member states in promoting regional peace, security and stability. His Royal Highness also noted the Council's continued efforts to enhance its regional and international standing while advancing development in a manner that reflects the aspirations of its citizens for a more prosperous and dynamic future. The meeting also included discussions on topics of shared interest aimed at further strengthening the work and impact of the GCC. For his part, Al Bdawi expressed gratitude to His Royal Highness for his steadfast commitment to strengthening GCC cooperation, which plays a key role in advancing integration across all levels. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa issued a circular announcing the official holiday in observance of Ashura. In accordance with the circular, all ministries, government departments, agencies and public institutions in the Kingdom will be closed on Saturday and Sunday, corresponding to the 5th and 6th of July. As Saturday falls on an official holiday, it will be compensated with a holiday on Monday, the 7th of July. The Speaker of the Council of Representatives, Ahmed Al-Musallam, commended the constructive cooperation between the legislative and executive branches, which has strengthened national development with a democratic and constitutional framework. Marking the International Day of Parliamentarism, Al-Musallam underscored that the steady progress and achievements of Bahrain's parliamentary work are the result of the continued support of His Majesty the King and the continuous follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He expressed pride in Bahrain's regional and international standing in the parliamentary field, grounded in Bahrain's commitment to national values, human rights, peaceful coexistence and diplomatic dialogue. Al-Musallam also emphasized the importance of parliamentary diplomacy in supporting Bahrain's strategic partnerships with international legislative bodies in advancing global peace, prosperity and sustainable development. Shura Council Chairman Ali As-Saleh praised the legislative and developmental achievements during the prosperous era of His Majesty the King. As-Saleh praised the support of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister in strengthening the partnership and cooperation between the executive and legislative authorities, which developed legislative system and consolidated the approach of integration in national work. He affirmed that the Council will continue to increase the successes achieved by the Bahraini parliamentary diplomacy and highlight national achievements before regional parliamentary forums. Saleh stressed the Council's keenness to continue constructive cooperation with the government and to continue to enhance the achievements of parliamentary diplomacy and highlight national successes in regional and international parliamentary forums. Bahrain celebrates the International Day of Parliamentarism, which falls on June the 30th, based on the UN General Assembly resolution issued in May 2018. The kingdom has provided a pioneering model in parliamentary work, strengthening its position at the regional and international levels through advanced legislation. More in this report.
Thanks to the efforts of all institutions in the Kingdom of Bahrain, including the legislative institution, national development has been achieved. On the International Day of Parliamentarism, the legislative development in the Kingdom of Bahrain and its impact on all aspects has become evident. During the prosperous era of His Majesty the King, the pillars of a modern state were laid, in accordance with the principle of separation of powers and their cooperation for the national interest. In this regard, the role of the legislative authority with its two chambers stands out, which are considered representatives of the people. Since 2002, it contributed to the development of legislation, which in turn contributed to achieving national development and strengthening economic and social stability in order to fulfill the visions and aspirations of His Majesty the King. The legislative authority has endeavored to strengthen its international presence to activate parliamentary diplomacy as a pivotal partner in establishing peace, civil dialogue, and international understanding. Bahrain's presence and engagements have been a testament to the tireless efforts of the legislative authority. The Shura Council participated in 55 overseas engagements. The parliamentary diplomacy also won 5 new regional and international positions during the third session of the 6th legislative term. The interests of the Shura and Representatives Councils were reflected in the modernization of the legislative system. In line with the Constitution and international human rights standards, the issuance of modern legislation and laws, the discussion and approval of the government's work program, adopting the state's general budget, promoting transparency and other effective legislation and decisions within the framework of constructive cooperation between the executive and legislative authorities.
And for more on this topic, we have the following statement from the First Deputy Speaker of the Council of Representatives, Abdulnabi Salman.
On the occasion of the International Parliamentarian Day, I would like to congratulate all the parliamentarians around the world and especially in Bahrain for this occasion. And at the same time, I would like to emphasize that this experience in Bahrain, which extended for the last 25 years, got all the support possible from His Majesty the King and his government, that we always feel encouraged by our leaders to move this experience forward for the benefit of Bahrain and benefit of the future of Bahrain. We always make sure that we stand beside this experience, and the parliamentarian experience in Bahrain is taking its role with a pride, step by step, towards the future and the good future for the people and the country.
Under the patronage of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Chairman of the Supreme Council of Health, Lieutenant General Dr. Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, yesterday attended the graduation ceremony of the 38th cohort of Arabian Gulf University students. 218 students graduated, including postgraduate diploma, master's and doctoral degree holders. On the occasion, the Chairman of the Supreme Council of Health praised the university's vital role in supplying Bahrain's healthcare system with qualified medical staff. He also highlighted the university's role in fostering GCC cooperation. For his part, the Minister of Education and Chairman of the Higher Education Council, Dr. Mohammed bin Mubarak Juma, emphasized the university's success as a symbol of Gulf scientific cooperation, its advanced programs and its contribution to regional development priorities. The President of the university, Dr. Saad bin Saud Al Fahid, affirmed that the university will continue to provide the GCC with qualified national talents and future leaders.